Hi guys, welcome back. So today the market was going well, going healthy. Dow Jones was up the most by 0.58% and Nasdaq comes second. It went up 0.4%. So in the morning it went down right away 1.23%. A lot of our stocks were dropping quite a bit. I think a lot of them dropped 7 to 10%. That's normal. And then it just stayed at the bottom for a while. So then I sent a message in the morning to the Discord just in case there was some fear. I said that last night we did expect to have up and down movement from the market, but it's supported by this support line of 13,300. And it happened to be also the 20-day moving average. I thought the market is trying to digest and price in some uncertainties for the speech coming up at 2 p.m. from the Fed. And based on last time, there were the massive sell-off after the speech. So this morning, it was just expressing fear towards the speech. And once we have priced in the uncertainties, then we didn't really have much to worry about because I still think the market had bottomed 2 weeks ago. So there is really limited room to continue dipping. And only Black Swan can drive it down further than the bottom. So that's why we saw that the whole morning it was just moving tiny bit and the whole time staying above the support line until the speech at exactly 2 p.m. and it went up quite quickly. Fed had reassured to not increase the interest rate, which was kind of expected anyways, but the market would just like to hear it anyways as a reassurance. So in the end, I do think it's a way for the market to create some up and down movement, consolidate and wash sell a little bit. Because as I said yesterday in the morning, when it touched the resistance level around 13,600, that I would prefer for it to come back down to backtest the support first instead of a straight V-shaped recovery, because that would be a healthier run up and we could take advantage of the dip in the morning for some of the stocks as well. Now let's go over our stocks. Baby Neo had a 2% increase today. Yesterday I said that it was breaking the support and the next support would be $41. And today it touched 41 and bounced back up to be 44 for closing. So if you have watched my video yesterday, some of you might have grabbed the dip in the morning. Next, EH had an increase of 4.5% from the decrease of 8% in the morning. That might have created a little bit fear for some people in the morning. But overall, 2 weeks ago, when I said that EH might have bottom already, I said that EH might be forming a head and shoulder bottom, right? So today, it was just a backtest on the support, helping completing the head and shoulder bottom, in my opinion, making the base more solid for further growth. Okay, now our LKCO. On Monday and Tuesday, I said that LKCO needs to backtest the 5-day moving average. So it either comes down to backtest or goes sideways for the moving average to go up for it to backtest. So today it had backtested the 5-day moving average to be around 1.36. So we saw in the morning it was backtesting, reaching the lowest of 1.32. But had gone up quickly and stayed sideways for the whole day. So today we have received great news from Luokung Technology. At around 8 in the morning, Luokung reports closing of 100% equity interests of Imago Technologies. Even though this news is short, concise, it's somehow very important. As the CEO of Luokung Technology, Xue Song, had also said that this is a significant milestone in the company's history, which provides Luokung Technology a clear competitive advantage in the field of autonomous driving, smart electric vehicles, intelligent transportation, and smart cities. All of this I have addressed in my channel several times already, but for those of you who don't know, Imago is the fourth HD map provider in terms of market share in 2019 in China, while the first one is Baidu. And Baidu had also said that the HD map business in a few years would grow into a bigger business than their search engine business, which was dominating as the biggest part of their revenue for Baidu. So this just shows how big the potential market size for HD map solutions there will be. And currently, Imago has actually the #1 biggest market share in terms of the in-car solution of HD map, because all the other competitors have conflict of interest somehow working with other car manufacturers. So that would give Imago the biggest advantage because it doesn't have this conflict of interest, because it's 100% owned by Luokung Technology now, not sponsored by any other EV players. So Imago had always been an important acquisition for Luokung Technology. Since 2 years ago, it had announced the agreement of this acquisition. Back in June 2019, they announced the plan to acquire Imago, and then it was in August, this day, where they announced they have officially signed the agreement to acquire 100% of Imago. But since then, it has caused the share price to drop and continue further to be beaten down. Why is that? I think it's because as of that time, they had successfully acquired 51% of the stake of Imago, while the rest of 49% remain uncertain until recently. So that was near 2 years. And finally today they had announced this completion of the acquisition by 100%. And I would think it has a lot to do with the recent fundraising of the $120 million they just got last month. So this is a great news for the company, as something that has been dragging the share price, causing it to be beaten down in silence for so long. Then no wonder the company announced this as an important milestone today. And I was very happy for them and for us investors. This is for sure the strategic acquisition and would open up many more opportunities for Luokung to integrate all of these companies that they acquire. For example, connecting Super Engine and Imago would give a whole new level on the application of the technology on helping different platforms such as the smart cities, smart transportation, and autonomous drive, etc. So I'm very much looking forward to the future growth of this company with this acquisition completed from now on. Moving along, now we just really need more news about the hearing, the actual date, and later on the final decision on Xiaomi and the result of the Luokung's hearing later on. All of this would be the next catalyst for LKCO. But at least if there is no further black swan, it's safe to say that we have priced in a lot of the bad news already. A lot of the fear, a lot of the panic sell had already happened for the last 2 weeks, and we should have had a great bottom already. So recently it has been just moving sideways with less and less volume because investors are closely waiting for the news and catalysts. Okay? Luokung is moving within the range I talked about yesterday as expected, so nothing is new. But right now it's supported by the 60-day moving average at 8.2. YSG had a rebound today. It's not a lot, 4.6%. Came across an article today saying that in 2020, YSG's growth was 72.6% year over year, which was #1 growth among all the other players in the same field that are public. So it means they have the fastest growth among all the other public companies in the same industry. While ST Lauder had actually a decrease of 3.8%. So this has confirmed what I said before. And what I believe in is that Chinese brands would attract more and more Chinese consumers and slowly take away the market share from international brands, which was why I invested in this company in the first place. And I believe it aligns with the government's strategy to push domestic brands and solve the issue of the excess of manufacturing capacity. So if you want to know more, you can check out that video. I'll put the link here. With that said, the biggest concern right now is the net loss to be 2.6 billion, mainly driven by the big increase of marketing expense in 2020, which was expected somehow because they did increase a lot of the exposure. They hired the top celebrity to endorse the brand, but I guess that's part of the strategy that they have to do in order to elevate the brand image as a domestic brand. So I guess we cannot have both, okay? In terms of the share price, now after it broke the support We really needed to get back on the support as soon as possible, or at least come back above the 5-day moving average to show us the sign of reversal and to confirm that this is the bottom. But for the look of it now, it looks like it has stopped dropping, at least for now. So that's why on Monday I suggested to buy the dip and sell it at the resistance level and continue doing it to lower the cost, at least for now. One example like this is GOCO, ticker symbol GOCO. Now, when I first bought it, it was around 13 to 14. But with the whole market correction, it has dropped quite a bit. And the earning make it drop even further, down to 9.8. So that's why I bought the dip last week at 9.9. So now my average has been lowered to 11.5. And I am making slight profit now. So I'm planning to trim off the part that I have added here tomorrow with slight profit and just keep my original investment for more growth later. So that's an example on how to lower your cost when the stock you buy has dropped and trim off the position I have added after the rebound so I can still free up some cash in case of further dropping and in case I need to lower the cost for other stocks that I'm at loss. Now, SOS, I am still holding it right now. It had a nice run up of 9% and after market continued 3% up. Overall, it still looks like it has stayed above this uptrend, so I'll keep it longer and see. Now, there is one little stock that I haven't updated for a while. It's Yunji, ticker symbol YJ. I bought it at 2.8 right before the big correction of tech stocks, unfortunately. And it continued dropping further. And finally today we are back home. During the day it had run up to nearly 20%. There was no specific news for this run up, but the earning is scheduled to be March 22nd. So it might be an expectation pricing in the earning. So after market, it continued growing to be $3. I bought this because it was a very beaten down stock. The IPO price was 15 in 2019. It was beaten down because the company has yet to prove the ability to make profit and the strategy as an e-commerce platform, focusing on the housewife, especially in the third and fourth tier city in China. Something quite similar to Pinduoduo, but we know that Pinduoduo had a very nice run up in 2020 already. So I would expect investors to move some attention away and explore other e-commerce platforms. And since Yunji had recently announced the cooperation with TikTok, since a big part of demographic for TikTok is from the third and fourth tier city. So that's why I started a small position in Yunji to see whether they can turn it around with this cooperation. You can consider taking profit or trim your position, or if you have not bought in, I wouldn't chase at $3. But would rather wait for the pullback to be backtesting at least 2.4 to 2.6 range. So today we also took advantage of the dip before the speech and bought the dip of Skills, ticker symbol SKLZ. This is an esports company. If you have been following my channel, you know that I really like the potential of esports industry. And I had a stock that I bought called ESE Entertainment, ticker symbol ESE for the Toronto Exchange, and ENTEF for American, ticker symbol. I bought in around 1 and I sold on this day already around 4. So right now I am patiently waiting for another chance to re-enter ESE. But meanwhile, I saw the dip of Skills because of the new share offering today. Now, if you have watched my previous video about ESE, you know that I also owned Skills before. I bought in at 21 and I sold it already at 37 before the correction. So I could not resist the dip today and I re-enter at 27. At some point it dropped to 12 to 14%, I believe. So I bought in at 27 and then continue at 26.7. And then afterwards it just had a nice run up to be as high as 29.6 near closing. That's a near 10% run up for a trade. So if you have followed, feel free to take profit. For me, I really like this company. I think esports is definitely a great industry that has massive of room to grow. Because right now we are just at the beginning of it. The market penetration is extremely low right now. And Skills is a great company with ARK Invest backing it up. So if you want, you can decide to take profit or hold it longer. Now that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy my daily update. Meanwhile, I am working on my next videos for EH and NEO. Hope you are looking forward to them. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment, and I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.